today's video, we're just going to talk about some trades that we forecasted last week, how we took them, and also what we can expect going forward this week. So let's start off with DXY. With this pair, this is where the market opened for last week. So we had impulsive moves to the downside, and I remember speaking about DXY and what we can expect going forward. That was last week. So let me just roll it back and then we will see what I spoke about. This was the recent low that the price actually broke. Right, so going forward, what we can expect is a correction, probably a pullback. So that is exactly what happened. So I'm just going to break down the trades that we took with this move. So starting off with a monthly time frame, this is what I saw. I saw that price has come to this level, right? That pushed price to the downside. Price tried again, failed multiple times, and then it dropped, right? So this was a strong level. Price broke above, and this is where we were trading at. So I knew that, okay, this is a strong level that can possibly push price to the upside. So let me just go down on the 4H time frame. Knowing that this was a strong level, let me just activate this. This is where the market opens. So when the market opened, I was just patient looking for what price will do here. And as you can see, price just gave us a double bottom in this zone, right? And this gave me a reason that, okay, the pullback phase is about to resume. Right here, we had the break of the neckline of this double bottom, and then we had a retest. Those of you who don't know the double bottom is just a reversal pattern. That is the W pattern, right? So we have the first bottom, second bottom, break of the neckline, pullback, and also a continuation. And that is what we have right here. So on the 1H time frame, we had this break of this neckline right here, break, retest, and then we got our entry somewhere here. So this was an easy entry because we have already forecasted that we were expecting a pullback to this zone. So when we saw this double bottom, break of the neckline, retest, we didn't hesitate at all. I just got into the trade, and then price just pushed to the upside. On Friday, we had the same opportunity. That is the impulse. We had price just correcting right here. This was a nice correction, a flag pattern. Then price just broke above right here, right? So this is where we were expecting price to head to, and that is exactly where price got to. And this is the DXY. Whenever I see a trade on DXY, I just go to Euro USD and take the opposite. So let's go to Euro USD and let's see what the market also gave us. So this is Euro USD, which means this is where the market opened, right? Because the DXY, if I should flip this, the DXY, we're just expecting a push to the upside. So Euro USD, I'm also going to expect the opposite, a push to the downside. So I'm going to go down and break down what I saw. On the 4H time frame, this is where the market opened exactly at this level. Let me take this off. So I just saw price correcting to the upside. You can see when price is moving to the upside, we have impulsive moves. This is an impulse move. It's a correction, very big impulsive move. It's a correction, impulsive move. We have big impulse. But if you compare this price action right here to what is happening here, you can see that we have a reduction of pressure from the buyers. Buyers are failing to push price to the upside, which is causing this formation of these candlesticks. So knowing that, I was just patient looking for what price would do over there, and this is what I saw. So I saw this left shoulder right here. I saw price giving us a head. That is, we took out this previous high, gave us a new high. Then price came back to this recent low, pushed to the upside, and failed to close above this high, which gave me left shoulder, head, and right shoulder. This is a reversal pattern. So right after breaking the neckline of this head and shoulder pattern, we had a change of character, which means the uptrend on this time frame has shifted from bullish to bearish. Let me just go on the 1H time frame, and we're gonna see this clearly. So on the 1H time frame, this is what I saw right here. This is the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder. This was the neckline. We took out this neckline, and this was just a correction or a pullback phase. So right after this pullback, break of this flag pattern, we just got in here, stop loss here, and this was also a nice trade to the downside, knowing that we were expecting a push to the upside on the DXY. We're also going to look at gold because this is also a pair that we spoke about last week. So last week we had this left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Price took out this neckline and pushed to the upside. We had this impulse. Let me just go on the 4H time frame. We had this nice impulsive move to the upside right here. And then I said what we can expect is a correction phase, and then we will have a nice push to the upside as well. Let me roll it back so that you can see what I spoke about on gold. So we already have price just consolidating here. I don't know how far this correction will come to before going to the upside, but what I know is I'm waiting for a nice correction phase and probably start looking for buying opportunities, if possibly to the next resistance level. So that is also exactly what happened. So I'm also going to break down this trade. As I was saying, I was expecting this correction phase to finish, then we will have a switch to the upside and we will start looking for buying opportunities. So on the 1H time frame, this is what happened. We had a nice correction to the downside. This was a corrective phase, right? And then looking at the structure within this correction phase, we have this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low structure. We took out this previous high, and this is where I got into the trade. Once we had a closure above this structure, a break to the upside, I just got in right here with my stop loss beneath here, and then targeting the high that I was expecting. And as you can see, that is exactly how the price actually moved. USD CAD, this is a pair that I didn't break it down last week, but I saw a nice setup on this pair on Friday, so I'm just going to break it down to you how I took this trade. So this is the daily time frame. Last week we had price just pushing to the downside, and what I was expecting was a break of this previous low, right? Because if this is a downtrend, I'm expecting a lower low like that, lower high, then I'm expecting a price to break this previous low so that we can continue going to the downside. But when we got to this low, we had buyers just coming in impulsively, and if you understand candlestick formations, you will see that this is a bullish engulfing, right? This is telling us that we have buyers pressure at this level. So after seeing this on daily time frame, this gave me a reason that, okay, I don't think price is just going to break below this level because we have buyers coming in. Could this be the level where price will just reverse and start going to the upside? I didn't know. So let me just go down on the 4H time frame. We had this impulsive move, and then we had the correction phase, right? That is why I always say the impulse and correction. When you understand the impulse and correction phases, it will be very simple for you to identify these kind of setups. So we had this nice impulse, we had this price just trading to the downside. This is a corrective phase. So what I was expecting was the break of this pattern to the upside. So on the 1H time frame, we had this price just trading to the downside, and then looking at the market structure, this was the recent lower low, lower high, lower low. So I was expecting this intraday time frame downtrend to shift to bullish so that I can take an advantage of the buying opportunities that I can have on this pair. So this is what I had. We had price just breaking above this level impulsively, gave us the correction phase, right? And then we had a nice breakout. So when the price just broke out of this, I just got in right here, and this was a nice setup, right? So if you look at how I took this trade, you can just see this is an impulse, correction, impulse, and that is the same thing that we have here. This is an impulsive move, we have the correction phase, and then currently we are on the impulsive move, right? So let's take a look at this on the 4H time frame. This is the impulse, this is the correction, and currently we are on the impulsive phase, and that is what we have on the 1H time frame as well. We have the impulse, we have the correction, we have the impulse. So that is also a trade that I took last week. So now let's talk about what we can expect going forward this week. Let's start off with USD CHF. Last week we had price pushing to the downside, and on the daily time frame I was saying that we could probably expect a pullback and then a continuation. So I'll go down on the 4H time frame to look at the market structure right there. So on the 4H, what I'm seeing is a double bottom formation, right? So I have my first bottom right here, I have my second bottom also right here, and I have price taking out the neckline of the W formation or the double bottom formation, right? So we have the breakout, and what I can expect is a correction phase and also an impulsive move to the upside. So let me take a look at the monthly time frame. Let me see where price is at. So on the monthly time frame, I can see price is also sitting at a support level right here, right? So at this level, price just, you know, pushed to the upside. Right here, it also pushed to the upside, and that is where we are also trading at, right? So going forward, if we have price just breaking out of this pullback phase then we can expect price pushing to the upside. So currently this is the impulsive phase, we are in the corrective phase right here. So the best thing to do is to wait for this pullback phase to shift from bearish to bullish, right? Probably we can have something like that, and then we can start looking for buying opportunities. So if I get in here, where am I targeting as take profit? So let me go to the daily time frame and let's look at the structures. Let's look to our left. So to our left, we have this level right here, right? So probably this will be where I will be expecting price to push to if we have to go all the way to the upside. So on the lower time frame, I can also measure the previous leg of the impulse, bring it here, right here, and as you can see, it's also correlating with that level. So if this happens, then this is where I'm gonna get in, and this is also where I'm gonna get out. So I'll keep an eye on this pair going forward this week. With DXY, what we were expecting was price to tap into these zones, right? And currently, as you can see, price is in that zone, but we cannot start selling because price got to that zone. We need a confirmation before we take any action over there. So as it stands on the 4H time frame, we are still bullish. Price shifted from bearish to bullish right here. We started trading to the upside, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, right? And since it's an uptrend on the 4H time frame, we can also be buying on this pair, but we have to keep in mind that overall we are bearish. This is just a pullback phase, and with pullbacks, I personally don't know how far this pullback will go before pushing to the downside. We can probably turn around here and go to the downside. Price can also trade into this zone right here, right, and then push to the downside. We can even come here and push to the downside. I personally don't know how long or how far this pullback will go, but what I know is I'm looking at the price action within the pullback. So if this is an uptrend creating higher highs and higher lows, if you want to take some intraday time frame trades or setups, we can just sit right here and wait for price to give us a pullback. This is the recent higher low, so we can probably wait for price to give us a correction if possible. Then we can also start trading to the upside, because I don't want this level to restrict me from thinking that market can push to the upside. As I always say, resistance and support levels are just areas where we look at price action. It doesn't mean automatically when price gets there, we need to start selling or buying. We just look at the price action that happens within that level. So price can just break above. So personally, I know that we are at this level, but I'm not just going to let it restrict me. I'm going to take it off and see the price action that is going to happen here. Because over here, we can also have a reversal. As I said, I don't know what the market is going to do. This could be a level where price will just reverse or continue. I don't know. So we just have to be patient and look at price action. This could be left shoulder. Price can give us a head here, push to the downside, give us a next left shoulder, and then reverse, right? This is possible. Price can also just come back to this level, come and tap back to this level, and then give us a double top and then reverse as well, right? Price can also just pull back here, gather momentum, and then also just start trading to the upside, right? So we just have to be patient and see what price will do going forward. So on Euro USD, we have similar price action, right? This is still bullish. We have price creating higher high, higher low. We just broke out this high, this is a new high, and this is a pullback, right? So price can possibly pull back to this zone and then find support and then start trading to the upside. But what we have to focus on is the price action that is pulling back, right? So currently on the 4H time frame, we are on a downtrend. Price is just creating lower low, lower high. What we have to do if we want to buy, we have to just wait for this to shift bullish, and then we will start looking for longs. But until then, we don't do anything. Personally, I don't like to trade against the trend, right? So if this is a pullback, I can catch this move right here and then take it to the downside. But when price is deep in the pullback phase, I would like to patiently wait and see what price will do, and then I'll catch the move to the upside. Because if I'm trading, I just don't want to jump in the trade very late. If I'm catching this move, I'll probably like to catch it somewhere here. I wouldn't like to catch a sell right here, right? Since this is an uptrend. So this is what I'm looking at. But at the same time, as I said, I don't want these levels to restrict us, because price can also push all the way to the downside. Because looking at this, we can use the fib. This is our low, this is our high. Price can even pull back to this zone, right? price can just pull back to this zone, get a retest, and then push all the way to the upside. So I don't want to restrict myself looking at these levels. I'm just going to focus on what price is going to do when we get to these levels, but it doesn't mean price cannot go all the way to the downside. We can even come here or even push all the way to this level before finding support and pushing to the upside. So what you just have to do is to focus on the market structure that the pullback is going with, and then wait for the shift, then rejoin the overall trend. But if you want to be taking intraday time frame setups, we can also wait for this correction phase, right? So currently this is an impulse, price is just correcting. We can just wait for a good setup, something like that, and then probably take it to the downside if we get this kind of setup. But overall, we should bear in mind that this is a bullish trend. Gold is also looking kind of tricky because this is where we're expecting price to get to, and that's exactly where price got to, right? So price got to this resistance, and then we are not surprised with price just pulling to the downside. So let's just go down on the 4-inch time frame to look at the market structure. On the 4-inch time frame, we have shifted from bullish to bearish right here. Price just took out this low. So as it stands, we are on a bearish trend. If I go back to the daily time frame, you can see that this is the daily higher low, right? We had a higher high, there's a higher low, we have a new higher high. So as long as this low is not broken, we are still bullish on the daily time frame. So what we can also expect is price is likely to just pull back, to this level and then reversing. This is very possible. Price can also just reverse right here, right? We have to just focus on the market structure within the pullback phase. So this is the market structure within the pullback phase on the 4-inch time frame. The lower low, lower high. Currently, as it stands, price is just correcting right here, right? So for me to be buying on this pair, I would like to see a reversal structure, or I would like to see the market switching from bearish right here to bullish, right? So if I should see something like that, maybe a price action, something like that, then I will be looking for buying opportunities going to the upside, right? So as it stands, I don't know where I will see this kind of pattern, or I don't know where price is likely to reverse, but what I have to do is to have to be patient and look at price action, right? On the 1-inch time frame as well, we can see price is just creating lower low, lower high. We have a new lower low, lower high, and then new lower low. So price is just right here. This could be left shoulder head. Price can just reverse, break this high, and then start just pushing to the upside. I'll be looking for buys if this happens. If not, then I'll just be patient and see what price will do going forward. But for intraday setups, we can also see that this was the recent low that got broken. Price came back to retest, and then price took out this level, right? So for me to be selling right here on the intraday time frames, I would like to see price just pushing to the upside, tapping in these zones, and then giving me a confirmation to be looking for selling opportunities. But if not, I'll just be patient and see how price will react in this zone. So on the daily time frame, if this happens, if price comes down like that and then breaks below this level, then I'll just be looking for selling opportunities. I'll have a change of character on the daily time frame. So here I'll just be looking for selling opportunities. I'll wait for price to just retest this zone or give me a pullback. Then I'll start looking for selling opportunities to the downside. So guys, this is what I have for you in this video. I hope you learned something valuable. Don't forget to subscribe and also like. God bless you so much and have a wonderful week ahead.